Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This video, guys, is going to be about communication, or lack thereof communication between the client and the actual company. Um, for some reason, guys, when we first started this contract almost a year ago, everything was great. We had a lot of communication. We had, you know, support as far as letting us know when things are not going properly, if there's any unusual activity, things of that nature when we're not on the property. Um, Recently, guys, it's almost like the one specific contract we're talking about, it's like their apartments are going downhill and then they decide that they want to go downhill too. So I don't know exactly what's going on with this one specific contract, but it's pretty aggravating. And then, not to mention, like, I know a lot of guys go through this. If you own your own business or whatever, I'm sure y'all guys have probably went through this. So let me know in the comments if you have. But um, you get good management, good employees on a client's property, and you get hired up, and you start working it. Everything's going great, and then next minute, the checks start coming in late, and then the communication starts going down, and then you're finding out stuff that's happening when you're not scheduled on property to work that is pretty serious stuff. You know what I mean? So, for instance, I was talking to a guy today, that works on property and lives on property as maintenance, and he was, telling me about things going on when we're not there. Like two guys at the laundromat were having a shootout because they just didn't agree with each other, whatever the case is. And there's, bullet holes flying everywhere, in the building. You know what I mean? And we're not really looking for bullet holes in buildings when we're patrolling. We're talking to people. We're looking for any suspicious activities, doing our lockdowns, doing what we need to do. So when we're not there, that you would think that would be something that maybe the office or management or somebody would want to say, hey, look, this is what happened on property, on this date, and one of them's a resident, one's not, or whatever the case is. Um, and then it just continues and it snowballs to more things. 9 a.m. when we're not scheduled to work. You know, there's kids pulling fire alarms and smoking weed and doing all this craziness. And you hear these things and you're like, okay, well, that's good information to know now, but when did this happen? A month ago? 2 months ago? 6 months ago? And it just keeps adding up to where that communication between the office and the us started falling apart somehow. And it doesn't make sense because our communication is always there. If there's an issue on property and we go and schedule, a certain schedule for that week and there's something going on, we'll go ahead and actually change our schedule up to fit the needs of the properties on this specific contract. And it's worked great. We're only scheduled here, for a normal shift, which we would prefer 12-hour shifts just so that we can manage everything that we're doing here. And since we started, there's been, a drastic change in this general area that we've, been patrolling, between law enforcement, us. We've really came together and we've cleaned up this area pretty good. And it seems like now it wants to revert back to where it was when we first started, because that communication's not there anymore. We're not hearing what's going on properties. We're not communicating, and that irritates the crap out of me too, because if we don't know that there's some issues between residents shooting at each other, and they got bad issues with each other, they're fighting with each other, whatever the case is, there's a couple drunk guys on property always causing problems, and then who is now making threats a week ago at a pool. Why didn't we know that then or the next day? Why are you waiting a week later to tell us these things? Because now it's at the point where we can't really do anything about it. You know what I mean? It's just insane. Like, and then you want us to do things when we're not scheduled to work. We're trying to manage everything because you guys don't want to pay what you should be paying. And, you want us to go above and beyond, which we are. And then you're 1-2 months late on paying us. So, I don't know exactly what's going to happen with this property, this contract, to be honest with you guys, because it's getting to the point now where, if you're not paying us and we're still doing our jobs, you're not doing your jobs, you're not communicating with us, we're communicating with you. Sometimes we don't even get a response back. You know what I mean? It's very mind-blowing to me how you're operating a business to business, and yet you can't get something right. You can't communicate. You can't pay another business on time. And it's getting to the point where either A, we're going to pull the plug and say, look, we're suspending our service until you pay us up, and from now on you need to pay us 1 month in advance, which we originally try to do on these contracts, on all of our contracts. Actually, we try to do that. Say you pay on the first of the month, and that covers that month of service. And then the next month will come, before we work that month, you pay us for that service. Same as, your cable, your electric, your water, all those things that come in monthly. If you don't pay it, they shut it down. And I think, it's almost to that point where we're going to have to shut it down until they pay us. And that makes things even more difficult, because then now we got to go and fix all the problems that are now back on the property, because these people see when we're here and when we're not, as it is. Now they see us not here, they think we're gone, that they don't have security here anymore. And then now they want us back, and we agree to it, and they agree to our terms. And then now we got to go and fix up something that was good to twice as bad as what it was before we even got here. So it's not something that I want to do. I don't want to suspend our service, because I know it could possibly create a lot more issues down the road. It'll leave an issue in the back of their minds where we came with that letter to suspend service because of payment issues. And it's not necessarily the office people's fault, or maybe it is, who knows. But nonetheless, if it isn't, they get a bad feeling about us at that point. And ultimately, the office manager is the one out here on the field, and they're the ones hiring us. So if we put that bad feeling to them, like, oh, these guys are assholes, they suspended service, whatever the case is, sure, they have a right to do that because we haven't paid them, but still, that's pretty messed up. And a lot of people will think that way. So I don't want to go through that, but I'm thinking it's almost time to where we're going to have no choice but to go through that. And hopefully, hopefully it all works out. We get, our 2 months payments, and things will be back on track. And maybe we just, figure out what's going on and have a conversation one day. And I'm hoping that's what's going to happen. And we'll find that out come Wednesday to Friday, what exactly is going to happen with this property in general. But for all you guys out there that own your own companies and stuff, let me know if y'all guys have ever even gone through something like this. If you have, how did you remedy the situation? Did you have a meeting? Did you just walk in and talk to them? Did you issue them a paper for late payment and suspension of service on a certain date? If you you just said, you know what, hey, we're done here. And where did it take you from there? You know, how did that work out? Did they call you back? Did they rehire you? Because this is truthfully going to be our first time having to do this with a client, because like I said, normally our clients pay us like they're supposed to, but for some reason this one is just all over the place. I mean, they're just completely, I guess, ignorant of what's going on, maybe, even though we've tried communicating with them, or they just don't care, they're overloaded, whatever the case is. But nonetheless, that's not our problem. And our problem is getting paid for the stuff that we did, and we did right. You know, we're not out here doing nothing, sitting in a car all day and, you know, smoking cigarettes and drinking beer and, you know, watching cartoons on their fucking phones. We're out here doing a job in a dangerous area, walking through buildings, patrolling, you know, dealing with drunks and idiots. You know, we're putting ourselves out there and doing what we need to do. And if you can't communicate and pay us, you know, if that was happening to you, what would you guys do? How would you guys proceed to do that? You know, and I'm definitely interested to see what you guys have been through, what you guys have done in those situations, how it turned out. If you've done something first and did something second, you know, and pretty much how everything changed from that moment on in your business. Did you change up your contracts with certain verbiage that dictates certain things, even though it's against their policy? You know, because that's one of our issues with this one is their policy say one thing and ours is another. So, you know, it's either turn down a contract or deal with their policy and then hope to God it doesn't come back like it is today. But yeah, guys, you know, that's it for this one. I just wanted to touch base and, you know, see what you guys have been through, see what you guys have gone through. If you've been in situations where lack of communication from the office and management has gotten one of your guys in a possible dangerous situation. Because like I said, this is pretty new to us when dealing with this client. It's our first time dealing with that issue. So I'm definitely interested to see what you guys think. But until next time, guys, you know, be safe, you know, take care of yourselves, and definitely reach out to us and let us know what y'all guys have done. You know, it's really important that we stick together and help each other out. And in this situation, I'm helping, or I'm not helping, but I'm asking for help rather, with this situation. And, you know, if you guys ever have anything you're going through that you need help with, you know, send us a message, let me know. And if I've been through something and I have an answer for you, I'm going to help you out. And I'm not going to lead you astray, because, you know, when it comes down to it, guys, we're all just trying to make money, go home safe at night, and do what we need to do and do it the right way. But yeah, guys, you know, definitely give us a shout out and let us know what you guys think about this. And if this is your first time, please hit that subscribe button. Check out some other videos. We got some pretty good stuff out, and we're gonna have some other cool stuff coming in. And until next time, guys, be safe, God bless, and take care.